Procrastination, man, has a real bad rap. Good day, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday Morning Moments with Mark, special procrastination edition, brought to you on Wednesday. For those of you that have been looking for the last 2 days, I wish I could tell you this was intentional, but I was suffering from a little bit of writer's block, and I couldn't exactly figure out which way I wanted to go with this. I had a couple topics that I wanted to deal with or talk about at first. And then maybe even like subconsciously when I decided I was going to go with a procrastination one, I kind of let it happen. I don't know. Either way, I still had the moment on Monday morning, and then the how do I want to produce that and what message do I really want to deliver is kind of where I got bogged down at. But it gave me, ironically, a great opportunity, and maybe it happened on purpose to be able to give me a little bit more perspective of talking about procrastination. But we'll get into all that in a minute. First of all, we always have to have the funniest thing. And the funniest thing happened this week is that I forgot the funniest thing because I procrastinated in writing it down. And it was something really funny. And I was like, oh, that's a good one for the show. And it was like a chuckle humor, but it was like it would just make you bust out laughing the more you thought about it. But I said you better write that down. I didn't have my phone on me at the time, and I didn't go get it and like immediately put it down and grab a pen and write it down. And then sure enough, when I got thinking about it, I eventually forgot to write it all together. And I was like, what was that made me like giggle like a schoolgirl over that? And I was going to use it. And I, for the life of me, can't remember. Hopefully I remember by next week, and I'll put it in next week's episode. We'll have two funniest things. But the funniest thing this week was actually the irony that I wanted to do a show about procrastination. And procrastination led me to forget what the funniest thing is, knowing it was going to be part of this show. So anyways, here we are. No more procrastinating about any of that. Let's talk about this situation. So a lot of people, procrastination, man, has a real bad rap. And people think that procrastination is, just putting things off and because you don't want to do something, when in reality, maybe procrastination isn't all that bad, and it can provide us some great opportunities like it did for me in being able to put this show together. So first of all, let's address negative procrastination. Negative procrastination is when you don't want to do something because you just don't feel like doing it, or you make excuses why you're not ready to do it right now. Negative procrastination, to define what it is when you are adequately prepared to perform a task and willfully choose not to. That's all there is to it. For whatever reason you want to, what spin you want to put on that, that's all just, dressing up the reason behind it. But the reality of it is anytime you are fully prepared and capable to perform a task that requires doing, but willfully choose not to, that's negative procrastination, because you could have gone ahead and gotten that done and moved on with life. For example, sometimes I don't like to cut the grass. That's negative procrastination, which I actually enjoy the task, but for whatever reason, I'll make a reason to not do it right now. And the reality of the matter is, if I just went ahead and did it and got it out of the way, I'm fully capable, I'm fully prepared to do it. If I just get it done and out of the way, then I can move on to other things and continue my sense of accomplishment. Part of what makes procrastination negative is the thing I just talked about. Me not wanting to do that goes against, I'm violating my own value of accomplishment. I value accomplishment very highly, and not one of my top three, but it's up there. And valuing accomplishment and then not choosing to not do that, I'm violating my own value. So that kind of procrastination is negative because it's inhibiting me from becoming my best self. That's how we need to view negative procrastination. Positive procrastination, on the other hand, is purposefully choosing not to do something, even if you might be aptly prepared or feel aptly prepared for it, because you want to find another way to positively reinforce your values the way you want to go about doing it, or you accomplish a better outcome, whether you're choosing like better as an option. I want to accomplish it, so I'm not going to do that right now, because even though I'm capable of doing it right now, I know there's an even better way to do it. That sense of delayed gratification that we have to sometimes do, so that we know that there's an even better result if I wait now and develop a greater capacity to do it. Then that's a positive form of procrastination, where the reason that I'm not doing it is because I want to strengthen my ability to be able to do it at a better level. That should resonate with our value and reinforce our value. For example, if I didn't want to cut the grass because I knew that a week from now I was going to tear up the whole thing and resod the whole yard, then that's fine. That's positive procrastination because I can put that energy elsewhere towards another task or another project when that one doesn't require me right now, and I'm going to gain the capacity to do it in an even better fashion. That's positive procrastination, to give you the two examples of my cutting the grass scenario. And for those of you wondering, I did cut my grass last week. I doesn't need it just yet, but by the weekend I'll probably have to do it again anyways. Or I could just put it off and swear that I'm going to resod in a week, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not going to, but that's okay. It sounds good in my head. Anyways, I just wanted to touch on the idea of procrastination because a lot of times people say, oh, you're a procrastinator. Well, maybe I'm doing it for a reason. So think about some things this week. Reflect on some of the projects that you may have been putting off, and be honest with yourself. Have you been putting them off because you are just negatively procrastinating, even though you're aptly capable? Now's the right time to do it, and you're just like, man, I'm not doing it. Or are you putting it off for a viable reason because you want to be able to do it more effectively with a greater capacity and impact a greater overall good, reinforcing your values and increasing your internal feel good happiness about that. So think about that. And yes, in fact, there are ways that procrastination can in fact bring us happiness. Once we achieve that greater result in the end, we become satisfied with the fact that we took the time to purposefully look through our process and get a greater result. So look at some of those examples in your own life this week. See where you can either go get some stuff done or think about ways to continue improving it so that you can have the greater good later. Have a great week.